first few weeks at least, it should be optional to wear trousers. Because I've not worn them for months. And it's taken some climatisation, and it's really hot.
We could maybe reach some sort of agreement that you can wear like a thinner pant.
How thin? What's the optimum
Zubas.
thin?
You can wear Zubas.
Okay, that sounds super.
Yeah?
I'll wear Zubas. That's
right.
All right. Okay, I'll get it written up later. Morning, wrestling news. Go. Is there no planned WWE return for The Fiend? It kind of looks that way. We'll talk about it. We have a backstage update on an NXT Call-Up and the latest on Xia Li following her injury scare on NXT last night. No planned return for The Fiend. We've not seen our boy Fiendy Pops since WrestleMania, and I don't know about you, I'm kind of ready for some Fiend-based shenanigans again.
Yeah, it was quite, like, everybody kind of soured on The Fiend, didn't they? And it just started to lose traction, and it was strange, because I'm still really into the idea of this whole character and what we can do with it, but yeah, everybody kind of soured on it, and then he went away, and I'm like, please don't get rid of it. Please don't get rid of it.
Absence, like absinthe, makes the heart grow fonder. PW Insider reporting today there is currently no timetable on the return of Bray Wyatt. Now, sources remain quiet on why this is the case, but the one thing that is led to believe from what has been said is that there is a specific reason for him not being around, and it might not be to do with a lack of creative for him. It could be something a little bit different.
Right.
But I'm glad that it's not an issue with creative, because I feel like you've got a story waiting to happen there with Alexa Bliss. I feel
it's all kind of on hold right now, right? We're just kind of waiting for it to pick back up and crack on.
There's part of me that does live in the concern that sort of Alexa Bliss is now just the Fiend, and that's that. Thanks for the character, Bray. Thanks for the character, Mr. Rotunda.
Yeah.
Here you go, Lexi. Have fun with that. There is I look forward to the day where we write about the trajectory of the Fiend as a character. It's something that came with it's been such a mixed bag, such a unique story told both in the ring and away from it, and hopefully sooner rather than later we see it. So it is a strange one to start a news video with basically no news, but I think it's poignant to point out that as they're hyping up this massive SummerSlam show, currently no plans for the Fiend to be a part of it.
Well, I mean, Cena got out of the funhouse somehow. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
This is all going to be tight. This is I don't know, but you know, at the same time, maybe it's not something that they would be leaking out there if they were going to bring him back. Maybe it's a big surprise. So we've always got that to consider as well, but
okay. When we know more, you'll know more at Cultaholic.com. Future plans for an NXT Call-Up have been revealed this morning as well. PW Insider's sources have been singing over the last 24 hours, and we got some details on the impending arrival of Toni Storm. Now, the last time we saw Toni Storm, she was on NXT as a baddie. I think she's better as a goodie, and a lot of other people agree, as it looks as if she's going to rock up on SmackDown on the babyface side of the roster, Sam.
It makes sense, and as I said, we're losing depth here with Bayley being taken out for so long, and of course Bayley is on the heel side of the roster, I know that, but it's still, Bayley's character is someone that could be feasibly brought back before she's ready to return to in-ring action, so we might maybe see Bayley before long, and that means that we can have Toni Storm as a face, and we can, freshen up the face side of the women's roster on SmackDown.
So looking like a strong 2021 for Toni Storm, set to debut on SmackDown. She was part of NXT in 2020, NXT UK the year before that, the Eddie 6 Suite just outside Biker in 2017 as well. It's where we had a lovely conversation. I said, I'm going to get a drink. Do you want a drink? And she said, I've got a bottle of water, thank you. So there's some inside scoop from my one run-in with Toni Storm. She had some water. Good to know. NXT staying with NXT, moving for 2 nights. It's over 2 weeks, isn't it, Sam?
Yes, it's going to be airing on Sci-Fi for each of the next 2 weeks. And these are the Tuesday, July 27th and Tuesday, August 3rd shows. But yeah, they're going to be on Sci-Fi at the usual start time of 8 p.m. Eastern. And the change is due to there being scheduling conflicts with the Olympics, airing on the USA Network. And I think that's fair. The Olympics only comes around once every 4 years and it's delayed.
Damn it, I want to see my NXT. I don't want to watch the...
Get NXT in the Olympics. Do it,
yes! I would unless they incorporate the two and we have dressage at NXT.
I mean, both episodes, it's important to note, are being taped. They're running on a tape delay, so they're going to be, recorded this week and then put out in time.
Recorded this week. Recorded tomorrow. Oh, tonight, actually.
Yeah,
they're
Wednesday,
tonight
21st.
At the CWC. Recorded tonight. Spoiled by us tomorrow, no doubt. So be ready. If you don't want spoilers, we'll give you a little heads up. But there'll no doubt be some juicy things coming out.
If things happen, we got to report.
We'll talk about them. It's our job. It's either this or we go work at checkouts. And I'm happy to return to checkouts, but I quite like hanging out with Sam on a morning. It's lovely at times. Some of the greatest wrestling moments took place on Sci-Fi, in particular.
Just don't. None of that happened. It was all a bad dream. It didn't exist.
Was ECW on
One
Sci-Fi
Night Stand
a bad
was
dream?
a beautiful farewell to an amazing company, and nothing else happened.
Who's your favourite ECW champion? Mine is Ezekiel Jackson. Bless Big Z.
Yeah.
Talking of ECW, it's almost like a plan, that bit. Former ECW champion coming out of retirement very, very soon.
Yes, and you'll not. Well, you might be able to guess who it is at home. Go on.
Ezekiel Jackson.
No, it's Steve Carino, and he's coming back to the ring for one night only next month to wrestle against his son, Colby Carino, and they're going to be wrestling for PWF in North Carolina. He last wrestled in 2016, losing to Cody Rhodes in Ring of Honor, and in 2017 he exited Ring of Honor to work as a WWE Performance Center coach and producer. Steve Carino. I mean, what is there to say about Steve Carino? I think grossly underrated in his time, and slowly, people over the years have been coming back to his work and going, you know what, I didn't quite give him a fair shake.
It's the match against his son, Colby Carino. Now, Colby teamed with Steve Carino when he was 12.
Yes.
They had some tag matches, and as soon as Colby said to his dad, I want to be a wrestler, Steve was like, yeah, let's get you going, let's train you, let's go. Colby Carino on Desert Island Graps, roughly a year ago today. You can listen back to it on the podcast feed. Lovely to chat to Colby Carino. And best of luck with the match coming up next month. They'll have a lovely time.
Go on, Steve.
Go on, Steve.
Go on, Steve.
Show him you've still got it. I want to drop this in very quick before we get to our final story. Freedom Pro Wrestling bringing us some trademark news.
Right, okay.
I haven't had any trademark news in quite some time. Summer Sizzler, Three-Way Dance, and November to Remember are three pay-per-view titles that Freedom Pro Wrestling are looking to acquire for future events. They've also had the gumption to try and trademark 3 Stages of Hell, which I'm all for.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to maybe get that one, but the problem is if you have trademarks and you just sit on them and you own them and you do nothing with them, I'm fairly certain there are certain laws where you've got to kind of use them in order to keep them. So if this company wants to, I guess it might have been a similar situation around the Bash at the Beach type stuff. Where it's just, I think I wouldn't be surprised if WWE just quickly goes, hey, it's NXT Summer Sizzler, NXT Three-Way Dance. But it's all power to them.
Do it. I think November to Remember is a great name for a pay-per-view.
Oh, God, yeah.
I like a little bit of that rhymey nonsense. Finally, last night on NXT, scary moment for Xia Li during the main event. She was challenging Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's Championship. We saw Gonzalez hit a corner slingshot senton splash. I had to write that down in case I forgot the move. She landed right on top of Lee, and it looked like Lee wasn't able to protect herself in time. Looked like Z came crashing down on her ribs. It kind of caused a little bit of a commotion during the match. The match still ended, but there was some concern for Xia Li's well-being. Sean Fightful from rossap.com has revealed, for those asking about Xia Li, we're told she appeared okay backstage after NXT, so she's all right if you're worried about Xia Li.
You just get so nervous though, don't you, whenever you see anything like this in the ring. It's just like, oh God, especially with, NXT, it's always just kind of, I don't want to say it always like hurts more, but it's always kind of like, because they're rising stars, and it's like you don't want anything, you just want to protect them. You just want to protect them.
Put you in a little bubble.
And make sure they make it scot-free to the main roster with all their stories intact and become champion.
It's like we want to protect you. Like we're gonna wrap you in bubble wrap. We're gonna put cotton wool around your head, and then we're gonna push you into the motorway. There you go. Looking at you, Karina Cross. More news later. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.